So I had a high school friend who also fought in Desert Storm, and he and I talked a little bit. And I don't think that we, as the public, had a clue what was going on over there for you guys and girls and what you had to go through. What was your job in Desert Storm?
So my job was tanks, everything related to tanks. Loader, gunner, driver, tank commander, maintenance guy, chow getter, you name it. It was all Marines are kind of everything. What our life was like was we would spend between 20 and 25 days in the desert, no running water, no heated food, no cover, no showers. And every 20 days or so, we would go from there back into the rear where they had some stuff set up where we get showers and get to eat, a couple of really good meals and things like that. And then we go back and we spend about 4 hours in there, and then we go back. And we did that for almost 7 months.
Wow.
And in about 6 months while we were between advanced party and by the time the war actually started. And we moved a few times and got repositioned a few times, but most of our time was spent playing cards, maintaining the tank, trying to realize what the future was going to had for us, and hearing stories about how advanced the tank battalions for the Saddam Hussein army were, and all of the scary thoughts that come in your mind related to what we're about to face. Hoping, not many of us would say it out loud, but hoping that there would be some kind of diplomatic, solution to the whole thing. But fearing the worst, and spent most of our time waiting for the next mail run to see if we got anything from our family or friends, whether it's a card or foot powder, whatever you get, anything. And we'd get mail probably once a week. And that was a big time for us. So that's what a lot of the time spinning up to the storm was, in Desert Shield, and just getting to know people really well. We'd have a once a week, we called it Dr. Pimple Popper. And living in the desert that dirty, you have a lot of things that grow on you that normally grow on you, being as filthy as you are, and living on a tank. You're living next to a tank or on a tank. And we'd have one guy that get all dressed up, and we'd throw money in a pot, and then one guy would pull out his K-bar and pop pimples on another guy's back. That was entertainment. It's scary to think that was what we did to entertain ourselves. That and scorpion fights. We'd all collect scorpions through the week and through the months, and we have different scorpions, and we bet on the scorpion fights and play a lot of spades, a lot of hearts. But anything to not think about the situation you're in.
Man, that had to be scary.
Scary, and you don't think of it. And I look back on it a lot. You're a jarhead. You're trained for this. You're ready for it. You know what you know, and you trust the people around you. You aren't afraid in the sense when you're around everyone. You get afraid when you call in Iraq at night and you miss your wife, or you miss your kid, or you don't know what's going on at home, or you didn't get a letter that week. It's not afraid of as much the known. It's more of the fear of what you don't know, what you're missing, what things are happening around you, what the other battalions doing, or the tanks are doing, or where they're at with Kuwait, because they keep you in a position where you know just enough to do your job, because they don't want you to think about much other than getting in a tank and operating a tank, doing it the best you can, and making sure everything works the way that it should work, including your brain. So the hardest, scariest part was the nights when you crawled into Iraq or into your sleeping bag and you wondered what tomorrow would be like.
Yeah, the next question I was gonna ask you is like, how much information do they give you? I mean, is it just enough to keep you in the know a little bit about what you're going to be doing next, or is it just you sit there and wait?
So you have operational security all the way through, meaning you can't. If I write a letter to my wife, or I get on a phone with my wife and I say, "Hey, we're moving 15 miles east next week to get closer to Y," and for some reason that line is bugged, or that my wife tells a friend over a phone call and something happens. So they don't tell us much at all on the ground. There's certain people that know a lot, but they don't tell us much on the ground because they don't want to put us in a position to where we say something, and next thing you know, we're giving up operational secrets that we don't even know we're giving up. So just enough to keep us informed. When's the next time we're refueling? When we're moving, not even where we're moving, when we're moving, when to be ready to move, when chow is, when you get haircuts, keeping you busy enough to not think about some of those things, and moving enough to where you don't realize that you're basically stagnant waiting for something big to happen. So just enough to make it dangerous. And then as we rolled up to a move or something, or the war, you would have more discussions because we're basically far enough out in the field where we weren't going to get any letters out or get any phone calls. It was kind of going to happen, but we didn't necessarily know it was going to happen. We realized it was real when the first planes flew over and the first bombs were dropped in the air war. And we knew it was real, but then it lasted, and it lasted. And the air war lasted. We thought, maybe they're just going to decimate them all, and we don't have to do anything. Maybe our job is done because of the air war. And then the longer it got, the more we realized it was more real.
For more information and links to other episodes, please visit www.trueambition.org. Now, go find your true ambition.